I'm 73 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you. Everything you think you know about getting older is completely wrong. And the worst part? The people who should be telling you this, your parents, your teachers, society, they're either lying to you or they don't know the truth themselves. You see, I spent the first 50 years of my life believing the same lies you probably believe right now. I thought I had everything figured out. I had the career, the house, the respect of my peers. But at 52, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew. And what I discovered in the 21 years since then has completely changed how I see life, death, and everything in between. But before I tell you what happened, I need you to understand something. The reason I'm making this video isn't to impress you or to make myself feel wise. I'm making this because I'm running out of time, and there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 52, I had what doctors call a cardiac event. That's a fancy way of saying my heart tried to kill me. I was in a meeting talking about quarterly projections when suddenly the room started spinning. The next thing I remember is waking up in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms and my wife crying in the corner. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky. I had just come face to face with my own death and they called it luck. But you know what? They were right. Because lying in that hospital bed with nothing to do but think, I realized something terrifying. I had been living my whole life on autopilot. I wasn't really living, I was just going through the motions, checking boxes, trying to meet everyone else's expectations. And here's the part that still haunts me to this day. If I had died that day, if my heart had stopped for good, what would I have left behind? A nice house, a retirement account, a list of achievements that no one would remember in 5 years. Let me tell you the biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now. I have time. I'll do that later. When I'm older, I'll finally live the life I want. I see young people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s, and they all say the same thing. When I make more money, then I'll be happy. When I get that promotion, then I'll relax. When the kids are grown, then I'll travel. When I retire, then I'll finally do what I love. Let me save you 50 years of regret with one simple truth. That day never comes. Do you know why? Because the goalposts keep moving. You get the promotion and suddenly you need the next one. You make more money and suddenly you need even more. You are always chasing something that stays just out of reach. And before you know it, you're 70 years old wondering where your life went. I did this. I spent 30 years climbing a ladder only to realize when I reached the top that it was leaning against the wrong wall. And you can't climb back down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. Here's something no one tells you when you're young. Success is a terrible goal. And I say this as someone who achieved everything I set out to achieve. I made partner at my firm, I bought the house, I earned the respect of my colleagues. And you know what? None of it truly mattered. You reach your goal, and for about 48 hours, you feel amazing. Then the feeling fades. You go back to normal. Now you need a new goal, a bigger win, more approval. It's like a hamster wheel that never stops. I had a friend who died 3 years ago, at 68. He worked 70-hour weeks his whole life. He built a business worth millions of dollars. He never took a real vacation. He kept saying he would slow down next year. Next year came and he had a stroke. At his funeral, his son said, "My father was a successful man, but I barely knew him." Is that the legacy you want? Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They will be about the things you never did at all. I don't lie awake at night thinking about failed business deals. Those don't matter. You know what keeps me up? The trip to Japan I never took because I was too busy. The relationship with my brother that I let fall apart. The book I always wanted to write but never even started. The time I didn't spend with my kids because I was working late. These things stay with you. The missed chances, the paths you didn't take, the love you didn't say out loud, the risks you didn't take because you were afraid. The people you love, your parents, your siblings, your closest friends. You think you have endless time with them. You don't. One day, that time will run out. My father died when I was 45. We had a complicated relationship, and I was always too busy to really fix it. I kept thinking we would talk when I wasn't so busy. We never got that chance. Heart attack, gone in hours. And do you know my biggest regret? All the Sundays I didn't call him. All the times I said I was too tired to drive over for dinner. All the small moments I let slip away. There won't always be more time. After my heart attack, I made big changes. I stepped back from work. I started saying no to things that didn't matter. I started saying yes to things I had put off for decades. In these last 21 years, I've learned more about life than I did in the first 52. And what truly matters is almost embarrassingly simple. Time with the people you love. Work that feels meaningful to you. Experiencing things instead of owning things. Creating memories and being present in the moment. It sounds simple, I know. When I was younger, I would have rolled my eyes and said, "Sure, but I have bills to pay." And yes, you do. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you not to trade what truly matters for things that don't. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to answer it honestly. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with the life you've lived so far? Not would people be impressed at your funeral, not did you achieve enough, just this, would you be satisfied? If the answer is no, then what are you waiting for? What are you doing with your time that is so important that you are willing to risk your one and only life for it? I'm 73 years old. I've been lucky to have good health since that heart attack. But every morning when I wake up, I know I'm living on borrowed time. We all are. Most young people just don't realize that. They think they're invincible. They think they have forever. You don't. I have 3 grandchildren, and when I look at them, I see the same patterns I see in so many young people today. They're stressed, they're anxious, they're chasing things that won't make them happy. They're making the same mistakes I made, and I try to tell them, I try to share what I've learned. But you know what? They don't really listen. Not because they're bad kids, but because they can't. They're living in the storm right now. They can't see the patterns yet. They think their situation is different, that the old rules don't apply to them. That's why I'm making this video. Because maybe, just maybe, enough people hear this message, someone will truly listen. Someone will make different choices. Someone will avoid the regrets that haunt people like me. Every single day, you are getting closer to death. No one likes to think about this, but you do not have unlimited time. And neither do the people you love. Your parents, if they are still alive, are getting older every day. One day, probably sooner than you expect, they won't be here. Your friends, your spouse, your children, none of these relationships last forever. So what are you going to do? Keep putting off that phone call? Keep delaying the dream? Keep telling yourself that you'll make time later? Or are you going to wake up today and start living like your time is limited? Because it is. If I could go back and talk to my 30-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop sacrificing your health for your career. Stop putting off joy until someday. Stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. Start calling your parents more often. Start taking the trips you dream about. Start doing the things that scare you. Start saying no to obligations that drain you. Start saying yes to experiences that fill you up. And most important of all,
Start now. Not next year, not after this project, not when you have more money or more time or anything. Now. Because I promise you, the perfect time will never come. Life will always be messy and complicated and full of reasons to wait. But if you wait, you will wake up one day and realize you spent your entire life preparing to live, instead of actually living. I'm 73 years old. If I'm lucky, maybe I have 10 or 15 more years. Maybe 20 if I'm blessed. Probably less. And I'm okay with that, because these last 21 years have been the richest years of my life. Not because I made more money, but because I finally started living on purpose. I learned to appreciate every day. I learned to focus on what truly matters. I traveled to places I always wanted to see. I grew closer to my children and grandchildren. I picked up hobbies I once ignored. I forgave people I held grudges against. I said I love you more times than I can count. And here's the irony. I'm happier now at 73 with less time ahead of me than I was at 30 when I believed I had forever. When you understand that time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop delaying joy. You start creating the right time instead of waiting for it. You have a choice right now. Today, keep living the way you are, chasing success, delaying happiness, telling yourself you'll make time later. Or wake up, realize time is running